My name is Jason Goodenough. I'm the chef and owner of Carrollton Market Restaurant in New Orleans. Today we're going to take kind of a classic New Orleans dish, and we are going to put a little bit of a Delta twist on it, not only using Delta Catfish from Heartland, but also using pecans instead of the normal almond that you'd use in an almondine. So it's going to be kind of like in New Orleans, you'd call it, you know, we get a redfish almondine or something like that. I don't know, maybe we'll call this Catfish Pecandine. And it's super simple, it's about 8 ingredients. To start with, we have here just some fresh baby spinach you get at the grocery store. This is unsalted butter, 1 lemon cut in half. These are some pecans that I've just kind of roughly chopped. This is a shallot, a few cloves of garlic, some vegetable oil, it doesn't really matter which. And finally, a couple of Heartland catfish fillets. So first thing we need to do is just some rough knife work. I'm going to chop this shallot quickly. Shallot is kind of like a soft onion. Just going to kind of finely mix this. Should be about enough shallot. And with the garlic, I'm going to slice it real quick. Over here. And the last thing I'm going to do is just kind of like trim up this catfish a little bit. Just take some of the stuff off the outside. This is not a necessary step by any means. This is just something that I like to do. Helps the fish cook a little bit more evenly. Perfect. This is about all the prep that is required of this dish, and now we can move over and start cooking. So first thing we're going to do is saute our spinach. This is something that can be done quite simply and can be done a little bit ahead of time if need be. It won't affect it if it sits while you cook the fish. So I'm going to put about a tablespoon of butter in this pan. We're going to let that melt. I have it on high heat at the moment. In the meantime, I'm going to season my fish with a little bit of salt. I'm not going to put any other seasoning on here, no pepper, no Creole. Excellent. Now our butter is melting. I'm going to throw in now that our butter is melting, I'm going to throw in half of a shallot and our sliced garlic. And then meanwhile, we start cooking our fish. Now this pan is on pretty high heat. You can tell, we're able to tell once we've been doing this for a while. You can tell if the oil is hot just by the way it moves around in the pan. This oil is looking like it's pretty hot. You want to saute your garlic and shallot until they are translucent, but they cannot or should not have any brown on them. I have my biggest pet peeve in my restaurant is burnt garlic or caramelized garlic. I tell my cooks that I can smell it from a mile and a half away when I'm driving towards the restaurant, so they better not do it. So it just gives, it gets really bitter and kind of acrid flavor, which does not lend itself well to many things. So this is sweating and getting nice and translucent. I'm going to go ahead and throw in a good amount of our spinach. all of our spinach. Now this is gonna wilt down quite a bit and lose a lot of volume and release a lot of water. This pan is starting to smoke. That's a good sign. Too much smoke could be bad, but we'll lay the fish in on the skin side up to start with. Give that a little toss, let it kind of wilt down. Salt. The fish I'm going to cook until you can see brown kind of on the outside. You see the fish start to cook up. You can see the cooked part of the fish work its way up the side of it and in. That's when we'll turn off the pan and flip it. That way the fish won't be overcooked. You can see this is starting to wilt down. It's lost quite a bit of volume already. Stir it, put some of the water. My spatula, I'm sorry, we're not killing. Okay. So we have to make this work. All right. So our spinach is pretty much ready. We'll go ahead and turn that pan off. Meanwhile, our catfish ready to be flipped. Lovely. Let's put our spinach off to the side. And once our fish is done cooking, we are going to build a quick little pan sauce, a brown butter pan sauce, something very emblematic of New Orleans, I think, like an almondine or a beurre noisette. So, fish is done. It's kind of hard to touch, like if you kind of pinch your first and forefinger, your thumb and your pointer finger together. Not squeeze hard, but just touch lightly and push. That's kind of how the catfish should feel when it's done. Let's say this fish is done. Put it off to the side. Dump the oil. Now we're going to make our brown butter sauce. So we dump the oil, put the pan back on the heat. Add a liberal amount of butter. Again, the pan's on high heat, medium-high heat. What we're doing when we brown butter is we're allowing the milk solids in the butter to brown. Milk solids can go from brown to black pretty quickly, so you have to be careful. You want it to smell nutty, besides the appearance of being brown. It should have like a nutty, rich kind of aroma to it. You can see it's starting to turn brown here. At this point, add a little bit of salt. So we use unsalted butter. You see it is developing a nice brown hue. I'm going to add my pecans. Let them toast lightly. The last thing, add the juice. 1 lemon. And we're ready to plate. Now we are ready to plate our dish, which has only taken us a couple of minutes to make. I need to squeeze the water out of the spinach a little bit. One of my other pet peeves, I like to say that I have a petting zoo of peeves, is kind of the juice running the plate. So I'm just going to do a little bit of sauteed spinach. Put our nice Heartland Catfish fillet on top. Then our beautiful pecan brown butter sauce. You may as well make it swim in butter because this is Heartland Catfish Pecandine.